Okay, let me ask you a question. If you had to start investing from absolute zero in 2025, no savings, no experience, nothing, what would you do? Most people just overthink it. They wait for the perfect time to start. But the truth is, the perfect time is right now, but only if you know how to begin the right way. Welcome back to Invest Education Hub, your trusted source for learning how to invest smarter and build long-term wealth. In today's explainer, I'm going to show you the exact steps I'd take if I were starting from scratch this year, from choosing the right accounts and apps to picking investments that actually grow your money. So make sure you watch until the end because I'm going to share a simple strategy that can turn even a small monthly investment into a powerful wealth-building machine. All right, let's just dive right in. Before we even talk about where to put your money, we have to address the giant elephant in the room. It's that feeling of being completely and totally overwhelmed. Honestly, it's the number one thing that stops people cold before they even start. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Analysis paralysis. You know that feeling, right? You got so much information, so many conflicting opinions flying at you that you just end up doing nothing at all. You're constantly talking yourself out of it. Oh, the market's too high, or wait, it's falling too fast, or no, this is a fake recovery. It's this endless cycle of panic and doubt, and all the while, you're just stuck on the sidelines. Exactly! You know you should be doing something, but the headlines are just screaming at you every single day. The AI bubble is about to burst. Inflation is coming back. Is a market crash on the horizon? It seriously feels like you need a PhD in economics just to survive, let alone get ahead. But what if I told you the secret isn't about predicting the future? Nope, it's about understanding the present. So let's take a quick look at the lay of the land right now. First, interest rates have kind of settled down. They're not at zero anymore, which means things like bonds are actually interesting again. Inflation, it's cooled off, but it's still chipping away at your cash to the tune of 2.5% to 3% a year. We're gonna come back to that because it's super important. At the exact same time, you've got this massive wave of innovation in AI, clean energy. It's fueling huge new growth. And it's not just a US game anymore. Emerging markets are becoming major players. But there's a catch. The S&P 500 is really concentrated in just a few giant tech companies, and that creates its own kind of risk. And this really gets to the heart of it. With inflation at, say, 2.5%, every single dollar you have just sitting in a regular bank account is losing its buying power. That 1,000 bucks in your account today, well, next year, it'll only buy you what $975 buys you today. So that feeling of safety you get from just holding cash, it's a total illusion. It's a guaranteed slow-motion loss. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the reality we all live in. Relying only on a salary is like trying to run up an escalator that's going down. You're working your tail off, but you're barely keeping your head above water. The real path to building wealth, the one the rich have used for centuries, is owning assets, pieces of businesses, property, things that grow in value over time. That is how you get off the down escalator and actually start moving up. Okay, so if owning assets is the goal, how do we even approach it? This right here is the most important part of this entire explainer. Forget the strategy, forget the portfolio for a second. You have to start with the right mindset. This is what separates the people who succeed from, well, everyone else. And who better to learn from than the master himself, Warren Buffett? This one simple sentence just cuts through all the noise, doesn't it? If your only focus is that little price chart bouncing up and down, you're not investing, you're gambling, you're speculating. Investing is about something much deeper. Let's just break this down. The gambler, they see a stock ticker, they see a price moving, and they try to guess where it's going next. They're totally driven by hype and fear, reacting to every single news alert. The investor, on the other hand, sees a business. They ask different questions. Is this a good company? Does it have a real future? Am I paying a fair price to own a piece of it? Their timeline isn't tomorrow. It's 2035, 2045, and beyond. To make this even clearer, Buffett uses this fantastic analogy from his mentor. Imagine you own a business with a partner named Mr. Market. Now, Mr. Market is a little unstable. Every single day, he comes to you either in a total panic or in a fit of wild euphoria. Some days he's terrified, yelling, "The world is ending, I'll sell you my half of our great business for pennies on the dollar." Then, on other days, he's ecstatic, shouting, "We're gonna be trillionaires, I'll buy your half for an absolutely insane price." Your job as a smart investor is simple. You just ignore his mood swings. You take advantage of his fear to buy great businesses on sale, and you politely decline his greedy offers. The market's daily volatility, that's just Mr. Market's mood. It has nothing to do with the real value of the business. And that brings us to this critical point. People are terrified of volatility, of the ups and the downs. But here's the secret. Volatility isn't the risk. It's the source of the opportunity. It's the fee you pay to get returns that crush inflation and what you'd get in a savings account. When the market dips, that's just Mr. Market offering you a discount. If you have the right mindset, those are the moments you get excited, not scared. So how do you know what to buy when Mr. Market throws a sale? Well, Buffett's second key principle is the circle of competence. It is incredibly simple, but so powerful. Just invest in what you actually understand. You don't need to be an expert on AI and biotech and global shipping, but you absolutely must know the boundaries of your own knowledge. If you can't explain what a company does and how it makes money to a 10-year-old, you probably shouldn't own its stock. It's that simple. And finally, this is just the perfect way to tie this whole mindset thing together. Imagine you get a special punch card for your entire investing life, and it only has 20 slots on it. Every time you buy a stock, you have to use one punch. All of a sudden, you wouldn't be buying on a whim or some hot tip, would you? No way. You'd do some serious research. You would wait for a fantastic opportunity. You would make every single decision count. That is how an investor thinks. All right, with that winning mindset locked in, we can now finally move on to the practical, actionable stuff. These are the non-negotiables, the steps you absolutely have to take before you put a single dollar into the market. This is how you build a fortress around your financial life. Here it is. This is your blueprint. Before you even think about what to buy, you gotta build your foundation. The two most critical first steps are building that safety net and then automating the habit of investing. We're going to focus on those right now because they are absolutely non-negotiable for your success. First things first, your emergency fund. This is your financial armor. This is what protects you when life throws you a curveball, a job loss, a medical bill, so that you never have to sell your investments at the worst possible time. We're talking 3 to 6 months of what it actually costs you to live. And please, don't just let it rot in a checking account earning 0 interest. Right now, in 2025, high-yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 5%. Your safety net can and absolutely should be working for you. Now for step 2, the habit. Look, the single most powerful force in investing isn't being a genius, it's being consistent. It's about being a robot. Setting up an automatic transfer every single month, even if it's just a small amount, is a complete game changer. This strategy is called dollar cost averaging, and it takes all the emotion out of it. You automatically buy more shares when prices are low and fewer when they're high. Over time, it just smooths out all the bumps and builds your wealth without you even having to think about it. Okay, your foundation is built. Your mindset is right. Now for the big question. What on earth do you actually invest in? Let's design a powerful, diversified starter portfolio that's specifically built for the 2025 market landscape we talked about earlier. But first, we have to tackle this temptation. Because everyone wants to find the next Apple, right? The next NVIDIA. Everyone thinks they can be the one to pick that one huge winner. But is that really a smart strategy for a beginner? Let's be honest. Let's just take a little trip down memory lane. Back in 2008, BlackBerry was a titan. It felt completely unstoppable. If you bought its stock at the peak, it would be worth about $4.50 today. Ouch. Go back even further to the 70s. Kodak was a dominant, blue chip, can't miss company. Today, it's a ghost. The point is, picking individual winners is incredibly hard because even the giants can fall. There is no guarantee that today's leaders are going to be the leaders a decade from now. So if trying to pick single stocks is a minefield, what's the alternative? Well, it's the index fund. This is maybe the greatest financial invention for the everyday investor ever. Instead of trying to find that one winning needle in the haystack, you just buy the entire haystack. An S&P 500 index fund, for instance, lets you own a tiny piece of the 500 largest companies in America with a single click. Boom, instant diversification. All right, here it is, a blueprint for a 2025 starter portfolio. It's designed to be balanced and diversified for long-term growth. So let's break down each piece. The core of it, at 40%, goes into a broad US market index fund. Think of this as your main engine for growth. Then 20% goes into a global fund. This is so important because remember that concentration risk we talked about? This protects you from having all your eggs in just the US basket. Okay, next up, for some income and stability, we'll put 15% into a dividend-focused fund. Then 10% in a bond fund, which basically acts as a shock absorber for when the stock market gets rocky. We also add another 10% for real estate to give you some inflation protection, and then finally a little 5% slice for innovation. This lets you make a small strategic bet on the future. See, this mix isn't about picking winners. It's about building a tough, resilient portfolio that can handle whatever the market throws at it. We've covered the mindset, the foundation, and the portfolio. But now we need to talk about the one secret ingredient that makes all of this work. It's the one advantage that every single person watching this has, no matter how much money you start with. And that secret ingredient is time. What does this number mean? 1,664%. Well, that's roughly the return you would have gotten if you invested just $100 in an S&P 500 index fund back in 1996 and just left it alone, reinvesting all the dividends along the way. That's not picking stocks, that's not timing the market, that's just buying the whole market and letting time do all the heavy lifting for you. And this just shows you exactly how that happens. It's the magic of compounding. Your first $100 grows to $260 in a decade. A decade after that, it's $750, and by today, it's over $1,700. Now, it's not a straight line, right? There are huge dips and recoveries along the way, but that long-term trend is undeniably up. Your money starts making money, and then the money your money made starts making its own money. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just gets bigger and faster. So, what makes right now such an interesting time to get started? Well, we're in this moment where the market is kind of reset after some volatility and inflation has cooled. History shows us that the years following market corrections often provide really strong returns for people who are brave enough to get in. Now, it's never a guarantee, but it is a powerful historical pattern to be aware of. So if you only take one single thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Forget trying to predict the perfect day to invest. Forget waiting for some magical sign from the universe. The most successful investors don't time the market, they give their money time in the market. That is the most important lesson you will ever learn. The cycles of the market just keep turning. The groundwork for the growth of 2030 and 2035 is being laid as we speak. So the question you have to ask yourself isn't when the perfect time will be. The real question is, are you going to be a part of it? Starting your investing journey doesn't have to be complicated, it just needs to be consistent. Remember, time in the market always beats timing the market. If this video helped you understand where to begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss new videos about investing, fidelity, ETFs, and financial freedom. And if you're ready to take the next step, check out our video on the power of compounding. It'll show you exactly how small investments grow into something incredible over time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, here on Invest Education Hub, where we turn learning into lasting wealth.